It makes me sad that this is where we are, but this is where we are. CL, you're right. CL Miller has expressed some skepticism in the event that's been planned by the Sunrise Movement for Monday. And I wish that I could just look at that, with wide open eyes. And I am advertising it because the activist who contacted me about this event is an earnest young man. He does believe in this stuff. I do too. The problem that we have of getting people on our side is that so many of these progressive organizations have gone to the side of pushing smear campaigns and false information and conspiracy theories, that it makes it really hard to advance the actual progressive politics that we are trying to advance. It makes it very, very challenging. I'm sad. I was really sad to read that, CL, because I understand where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. But at the same time, what are we going to do if we don't have any organizations doing this? Like, how do we approach things like an oil spill coming up on our coastline? Like, what do we do in this situation? But at the same time, when I'm reading your comments, I'm thinking, well, yeah, PDA totally fucked me over. They went with a whole bunch of conspiracy theory bullshit against me. They totally, they were totally on board with that. Our revolution did the same damn thing. And, the people that we see getting involved and taking leadership roles into these organizations, I don't know about Sunrise Movement. Let me tell you a little, before I get into a recap of all the bullshit I've seen in these other organizations, let me tell you a little bit about Sunrise Movement. I know this much. I know that there were two people who were trying to organize in Orange County for Sunrise Movement, and both of them... I placed a grocery store order. My apologies. Let me turn the sound off. Both of the people I know who were organizing for Sunrise Movement Orange County are respectable people, and I think you would agree with me, CL. Jose Trinidad Castellano was one of the... I went to his inaugural meeting. However, I think that he ended up getting tied up in a bunch of other... Because he's very ambitious, right? He's very ambitious. So he gets... I don't know, Trini, if you're using he or they. I'm not sure where you are on the pronouns. My apologies if I'm getting this wrong. Trini has their hands in a lot of stuff, right? So... that didn't quite, as far as I know, that didn't quite take off. The other person I had heard was going to be organizing this with Dr. Henry Broska, who is a Canadian who advances Medicare for all. And he's, I think he lives like in Laguna Woods or something. He's down here somewhere. He's in the South. But I don't know where they ever landed with it. So I'm not sure who actually is in charge of Sunrise Movement in Orange County. I think this protest is fairly safe in the regards that they're literally just probably going to be standing somewhere with some speakers talking about the fact that we have an oil spill. That being said, I understand your reservations. I get your reservations because I've been doing this now for 5 years, and I've had terrible experiences with Our Revolution. I've had terrible experiences with PDA. I'm finding that a lot of the people that I believed in and trusted are actually more willing to give a platform to conspiracy theorists and boogaloo boys and nonsense people than earnest people like myself who actually want to do the work and do the volunteerism. So, and for as much as they are complaining about the establishment, they themselves are the establishment. And they have their own established relationships. And they have their own party people. And they have their own slates and their own ways of manipulating party positions. So yeah, I get you. I think I'm still probably going to show up on Monday. I'm going to show up on Monday. I did back out of the last one that he let me know about, which was like a It was like a pro-Palestine event, because I went to the Instagram page and found that they had kind of hidden in the back of their Instagram a pretty anti-Semitic image. But this is a different organization. But yeah, we have to be careful of all this bullshit, because they are like, they're seeping into all of our politics. And like I said, you know, I've had my bad experiences with Our Revolution. I brought to their attention that I was being sexually harassed by one of their chapter leaders, and rather than dealing with the situation, they ostracized me. They lifted him up and gave him a platform on their national page. Same with PDA. They let the same dude come in and smear me at PDA after being a chapter leader for them. After I was a chapter leader for them, they let the same dude come in and smear me again. So yeah, I feel your pain. And yes, she mentioned Convo Couch, and that's exactly right. Convo Couch they're freaking libertarians. They're not even left leaning, you guys. They're not even left leaning. They're opportunists. They're opportunists. They're not even left leaning. And their entire business is promoting smear campaigns. So is Jimmy Dores. I get this. But that being said, where the hell are they on shit like this? They're not helping Sunrise Movement. You know who was helping Sunrise Movement? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's a far more trustworthy name to me than the Convo Couch, or Jimmy Dore, or Nico House, or freaking Tim Johnson in Our Revolution Orange County, or PDA even. Alex, I think, really stands behind what she has to say, you know? I think she does stand behind what she has to say. And she was one of the first people I saw do an event with Sunrise Movement, and that was the protest that they did in front of Nancy Pelosi's office to try and get a Green New Deal. That was before Jackson Hinkle turned. Right? Do you even see Jackson Hinkle promoting this event? I have not seen him promoting this event. He used to actually do work with the Sunrise Movement. He used to do work with March for Our Lives. He used to do work with the Students for City Council. Where the fuck is he on all that stuff now? He hasn't even mentioned the oil spill, and he has something like 17,000 followers on Twitter. He hasn't even mentioned the Orange County oil spill. Neither has Jimmy Dore, and he fucking lives probably up like in West LA or somewhere. And the Convo Couch, they live in fucking Pasadena. And I haven't seen a single one of them mention the oil spill that's right off our coast. They don't care about this bullshit. So yeah, if there is an organization that's doing something, then yeah, I'm probably going to show up. But at the same time, I understand your skepticism, because we keep getting fooled by these jokers. We do keep getting fooled by these jokers. And it's troubling. It's very disappointing. It's scary troubling, because not only is it disappointing to find out that you're working with people who are being dishonest with you, it's even more disappointing to find out that they're trying to actually ruin your life. And that is what has happened to me. They've actually tried to ruin my life through smear campaigns. I feel you, CL. I feel you, CL. I get your frustration. I would organize it myself, except that every single time I try and organize something, they try and thwart it. Every single time I try and organize something, they try and thwart it. Every time I try and run for something, they try and thwart it. The first time I ran for something, I was sent hate mail with fecal matter in it. These people you're absolutely right. There are a lot of really disgusting people who claim to be progressive and who are getting involved in progressive politics. And it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. And these are the same people who are working in the Karen Burnell Progressive Delegates Network to get elected into party positions, and then or central committee positions or whatnot, and then filibuster the central committee meetings and make it difficult for us to get anything done. You know, for anybody who attends does not attend, this is more for the people who do not attend. The Democratic Party of Orange County is actually far more progressive than most people would probably think. Like, whenever I've written a resolution, I've gotten almost unanimous approval from all of the members, like every time I've written a resolution. We actually are putting forward a lot of very progressive resolutions and making some real headway, and we're considered one of the leading central committees in the state because we're so Wild West, because we're so cutting edge. And yet, we still have people who claim to be progressive throwing out a smear campaign against the mayor of Irvine. And last year, when she was on the consent calendar for mayor, when the endorsement for mayor, J.C. Lynn Iannella, who at the time was the chair of Our Revolution Orange County, and she was the chair of the Feel the Burn Dem Club Orange County, pulled Farah from the consent calendar, not because she wasn't going to get that endorsement, because she already had, like, the entire party was already behind her. She didn't pull her because she was going to not get the endorsement. She pulled her to try and, like, publicly humiliate her. It was unnecessary. These types of actions are filibuster. It's unnecessary, because even people like Dr. Bill Honigman voted in favor of that fucking endorsement, okay? And you guys are acting like you're the fucking progressives. That guy's been doing it for years, and yet he keeps humoring you, which is really disappointing. You guys did the same bullshit to Katrina Foley when she was up for getting endorsed for the supervisor's race. You're literally just pulling people from the consent calendar just to try and humiliate them. You're not doing anything that would advance progressive policy by doing that. You're doing things to be difficult. You're doing things to try and make yourself seem like you're cool. You're not cool by doing that. You're being assholes. You're being assholes to everybody around you. All the time. Constantly. So yes, I can understand why it's difficult for us to convince people like C.L. Miller that she should help us, that she should be a part of our efforts to fight environmental problems. I understand why it would be difficult for us to get additional people to help us and want to be a part of our efforts, because you're such assholes about everything. So I hope that you guys will really think about this. Like, think about the way that you're going about stuff, because I'm literally trying to advertise this event, and I cannot argue with her criticism. I can't, because she's right. A lot of the progressive organizations are infiltrated by assholes who are conspiracy theorists and who are pushing smear campaigns and who are not dealing in truth. And so long as that is still going on, and so long as the leaders of these fucking organizations allow that to continue, we are never going to get done what we need to get done. So yeah, I feel you, CL. But at the same time, I probably will be there on Monday. Okay?